Smarter together.
Yeah, smarter.
Welcome to Tech Talk 2020. I'm Sanjay Parker with Tech Talk 2020, and I've got my co-host here who's so excited to see me, and he is Mike Carswell. Today we're going to talk about cool things related to smart cities. That's our topic today, as you know, on our show today. And every day we talk about things that will enable you with technology for your home, your life, your business, and just make you smarter in 30 minutes. Such a bargain.
Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Carswell joining Sanjay Parker here on Tech Talk 2020. So glad you joined us here on 101.5 FM, WINT Integrity Radio, and also 1330 AM, WINT Radio. Plus, you have this added feature, Facebook Live. And also, if you're listening, if you're listening to us, you have some great thing to say or tweet at us also at Tech Talk 2020. We are glad to be here. I want to prepare myself for this conversation tonight. We're going to have a little good time. But I do want a quick shout out to Community of the Holy Spirit. I stopped by there tonight. They hooked me up with a nice coffee mug, and I told them I'd give them a shout out on the air. So thank you, Pastor Vicky and Pastor Chris. Proceed, brother. What you got for me?
Cool. So I had the great opportunity today to go to a meeting downtown, hosted by Digital C, which is a project funded partially by Cleveland Foundation.
Okay.
And they're really focused on helping Cleveland become a digital city, a digital community, similar to some of the other Midwest cities or Northeast cities that have transformed from a manufacturing economy into a digital economy. Mm-hmm. Look at Pittsburgh with Carnegie Mellon and the investments they've had in technology, and now Uber has built a research and development center around autonomous vehicles out there. It's really a revival because the view is that these cities have a lot of assets in terms of intellectual capital, a lot of technology availability, and with the ability to use broadband to not have to commute to compute, you're able to go in and get all of that work done from any region. It doesn't matter if it's somewhere where there's a big hub like Silicon Valley or not. You can still do that contribution. So there's a meeting downtown today, set up by Gordon Feller, who's an executive at Cisco, and it's called the Meeting of the Minds. And it was really just a meeting to get together to plan a fall meeting around smart cities.
Meeting of the Minds?
Around Cleveland.
Meeting of the Minds, and how could they not invite me?
Well, we're going to work our way up to you. So we really, you'd be our audience, right?
Hey.
Because you are a citizen of the community.
I could be a leader in that.
And the idea behind these smart cities is, how do we enable technology to create jobs, to create employment growth, to create revenue growth, to make open data available so that people and communities can get access to information to make database decisions. How can we talk about urban mobility and transportation to better enable the cities of the future to operate more effectively and ultimately to really stay relevant and thriving? I think that's really important.
Well, what's interesting as you mentioned that, my wife and I were talking about you today, Sanjay, and I said, honey, he's got this fascination with the Jetsons. He's just looking forward to one day being, transposed or transported somewhere and zipping here and zipping that. And the conversation led us to a friend of hers had a vision about 10 years ago. She says, Diane, when I'm at work, I should be able to have some device that when I get home, dinner's already started. Mm-hmm. When I get home, the dog's already been walked. All the different things that we have to do when we come home that are part of our evening, I guess our daily routine. We've talked about it before, how the digital age is really kind of taking over some of the mundane tasks that we do. So I'm ready for the day when I can push a couple buttons and have dinner ready. Although we do that with microwaves, nothing beats home cooking. So I'm sure you can intervene to make that happen a little better too. But digital cities I'm interested. I know things were done a significantly different way in 1970 than they are done in 2017.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the key terms, and we've talked about this in one of our previous shows, is around IoT. Do you remember the IoT phenomenon?
The Internet of Things, yes.
Internet of Things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so everything will be connected, and everything can be a sensor or a data point. I talk about cars all the time because that's my passion, but, one of the examples is, when you have a GPS system, right? You have a GPS, you have a Garmin.
I use my phone. I use Google Maps.
Right. So you're definitely on the more modern edge.
Oh, I am?
So when you have Garmin or Nuvie
TomTom.
or something built into your car, that thing is outdated the moment you get it, right? It's not real time. And so even your TomTom or whatever is, outdated quickly. Your Google Maps, even Waze is,
Waze and
based on current real-time traffic
sure,
conditions.
absolutely.
But the road mapping data is definitely still something that needs to be pushed down over the wire and gets updated on a regular interval. If you've got something like a vehicle with sensors and cameras, and this is proven with the Tesla model, they've got millions of miles a month with all of their fleet out there of the people who are just driving around. And so those sensors capture that data, sends it to the cloud where it's analyzed. And for example, if the car is expecting to see a road sign up here and a building there and a road that turns right over here, if it doesn't see that the next time, it sends that differential data, says, here's what's different. There's no road over there. There's a bigger sign here, sends it back to the cloud, and then the system can use that to recreate a current real-time model of the road so that the next person coming down the road actually has the most real-time equivalent. If you get enough cars as sensors out there, using this Internet of Things to contribute to the cloud with that sensor data, it's conceivable that, you would be able to know if there's, a puddle on the road that's, or a flood or anything within seconds of it happening because somebody else would have encountered that first.
Well, let me ask you this. So in lieu of all that, that information about those, the job question is one of the things that people are interested in knowing. I've shared on the show before that if you currently are employed, and many, many, many of us are in a position where you're under $20 an hour, you need to think about the fact that there's a chance within the 10, 15-year window, your job could be done by an automated person, automated machine. The auto industry is you have people, the cars are being built by robots now. They don't need light. They don't take bathroom breaks. They definitely don't take cigarette breaks. So you got all those factors coming in.
The people who take cigarette breaks, forgive me, they're a dying breed.
Drum roll.
That's horrible.
Just kidding. We're all dying. We're all dying.
We're all dying. But, what really happens is it's not about, so the IoT Talent Consortium that was started by Cisco, something that in my role at Xerox, I contributed to starting that up. Yep. What they said is, look, we need more jobs. IoT is going to fuel growth, and we really feel that people working alongside these Autobots and automation and automatons and everything that we call it, the bots, working alongside bots can definitely compete, and stay relevant. For example, we know that humans can't compete against a computer for chess today. But we know that teams working with a computer can definitely beat a computer playing chess, or a human playing chess, or teams playing chess without the computer aid. So we know that we can use the computers and technology and bots to accelerate our impact, right? So we can work alongside them. So what Cisco said when they created this talent consortium, they said that certain jobs can be reworked. You don't need to have an IoT degree, but you can take a network engineer and then retrain that person so that quickly they can be a cloud engineer, right? Because some of those same principles apply. Graphical designers that are working on print materials can learn how to create user interfaces for IoT devices. So there's definitely a push to get people retrained to support modern equivalents of technology.
Well, 2 times this week I went to, I'm sorry, not 2 times this week, but I went to an event last Friday, and 2 of the people I had conversations with were older folks that when I mentioned computers, there was this look of despair and fear written across their faces. And one gentleman said, I worked at a place for 8 years. I lost my job, and I mentioned, well, you had a similar retail experience. You can apply at this place or that place. And he says, well, when I go in, I have to work on a computer to apply, and I have no skills there. So it was kind of an interesting thing. And I thought maybe he should find a way to get a friend or a child to come in and hold hands with him to get him through it. But it was kind of tragic, the fear that was involved with that person with the digital world.
Yeah, that's definitely something we can talk about after the jump. But check out our show on Universal Basic Income if you have no technology skills. Very relevant.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break here on Tech Talk 2020. We'll be back. Again, if you have some interesting thought, tweet at us on Tech Talk 2020. Hit us up on Facebook, and we'll talk to you after the break.
Pat O'Brien Chevrolet has every major brand of tire for every make and model, and we're offering a 30-day price match guarantee. Find a better price within 30 days and we'll refund the difference. And we're offering a tire and alignment check absolutely free at Pat O'Brien Chevrolet.
I'm Robin Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. If you're in the market for a new mattress, this is your wake-up call. Have you noticed something strange is happening? Suddenly, there are as many mattress stores as there are coffee shops. Why? What's really going on? Are they competitors or something else? Every holiday, a different sale. Every day, a different price. Do you think it is their intention to confuse us? My father Ron told me, trust your gut. It knows what your head hasn't figured out yet. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have never had a sale. Why? Well, let's just say the usual mattress sales don't fit our values. Our formula is comfort, support, and durability at a fair price. How? Your original mattress is designed here, made here, and only sold here. Looking for an honest price on a hand-built mattress? No reason to wait for a holiday to shop. Today works for us too. The Original Mattress Factory. Thoughtfully made, honestly priced. OriginalMattress.com.
Sure, lots of places offer you prime rib dinners or whatever on the menu, but when you stop to compare what you get, you soon realize they don't hold a candle to the Cabin Restaurant in Willoughby, because their $8.95 special just can't compare to food made with local fresh-picked ingredients, grass-fed beef, and fresh seafood. Carmen cures the Cabin's pork bellies and grows their vegetables and spices. Get a real meal. Bring friends for happy hour or relax with a fabulous dinner. The Cabin Restaurant on Lakeshore Boulevard in Willoughby. Visit thecabinofwilloughby.com.
Join us tomorrow night for all the NHL action and excitement of the Columbus Blue Jackets, right here on Integrity Radio, WINT, 101.5 FM, 1330 AM, and on the internet at WINTradio.com.
Welcome back to Tech Talk 2020 with Sanjay Parker. I'm Sanjay Parker. I'm here with my co-host, Mike Carswell, and we're talking about all things technology. Today we're talking about smart cities, and we think Cleveland is definitely going to be on the map to be a smart city of the future.
I think so. And actually, a good friend of mine years ago said, we need to make the internet access or the world of Wi-Fi free because when you hop in a car and drive to the store to purchase something, you're using a path to get there. Well, because so much is purchased online now, it's similar. It can be similarly called a street or a path to purchase something. You're an Amazon Prime guy, so you understand that so much is purchased that way. I'm not saying it should be totally free, but just like we pay taxes to have our roads taken care of, that should come out of our Wi-Fi should be everywhere is what the guy was saying.
Yeah, and there's definitely a push to have broadband everywhere, especially in those that have economic, some level of economic depression, where perhaps they can't get broadband to their home and afford that extra $50 to $60 a month, whatever it is.
Yeah, but don't forget this, books are still free.
Yeah, but they're outdated. They're outdated.
I know.
Oh my goodness. So, anyway,
library.
Have you not listened to any of our shows?
Sorry.
Goodness gracious.
Books are good.
They're good,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
Content is king. But let me tell you this. So smart cities are really investing in the future of those cities using things like the Internet of Things, where we've got lots of data, open data and analytics, so that private individuals and companies and governments can look at that data. For example, there's a story about a mayor, actually he was a chief performance officer of Denver, and he was giving a speech, and he talked about something called the live release rate. So if you have a kennel or a shelter, animal shelter, one of the things that you really try to keep high is your live release rate, which really means like how many animals are given to homes, in good shape that you've taken care of. And so that's a very cool metric. They wanted to increase their live release rate, right? They didn't want to put down any animals and wanted more adoption. So what they did, using the Internet of Things and smart technology,
sure.
Right? They said they just created a little Twitter bot that all the employee had to do every day was just take a picture of a new animal and then type a couple of sentences. Hi, I'm Jack, and I'm a 14-year-old terrier, and I love kids, whatever it is. And it would automatically post that. Like every 2 hours, there'd be a new little profile on Twitter. So nobody had to really manage it. You just had to take the picture, type a couple of things. In fact, they typed those things in advance. It was all scripted.
Yeah.
So it didn't use smart data to say, look, Mike likes only bull mastiffs and Sanjay likes little Yorkie terriers, whatever. I don't know. I like all dogs. And it just got out there. But their live release rate skyrocketed because that actual work was being done in terms of marketing those little animals, and nobody had to really work on it. And so that's an example of using, technology to help cities become a little bit smarter. Now you've got these animals in homes, less, on the street, less kill rates, all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can see where that will work. But yeah, there's probably other parallels that the internet has really been amazing to communicate a message quickly. I mean, you think of if you were a politician and you felt that they were treating you unfairly when they broadcast the news, you could use Twitter and just say exactly how you feel and kind of bypass it.
That'll never work. The Twitter in chief? No, I don't think so. So,
when I try to tell what's going on here and you mess my story up, I just go to Twitter.
So, anyway, definitely Twitter and communication. One of the things I read is there's 3 things, Mike, this is for you. 3 things for you to focus on. Mm-hmm. We talk about the future. We talk about jobs going away and bots taking over. 3 things that bots won't be able to do for a long, long time, although I'll probably eat my words.
3 things that robots can't do.
3 things. Large frame pattern matching.
Large frame what?
He's Googling it. Large frame pattern matching. 2, ideology, right?
Okay.
Ideology, ideating, coming up with new ideas. And 3, complex communications. And so large frame pattern matching means like I can look between multiple domains and see trends and things and synthesize and assemble ideas and really come up with new things and put things together and match patterns. It's really something that humans are really, really good at. It's across domains. It's not just a specific task. It's all kinds of useless data. You know those people, right?
I'm listening.
You'll be talking to them about one thing and they'll say, oh, yeah, and so and blah, 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 blah. And
rabbit trail?
How do you match that? And then, ideology, right? It's coming up with new ideas and new ways to do things. Computers are not so good at that.
Okay.
And then the third thing is complex communications. So, for example, the analogy is...
Like when I hang out with you and you're in your complex communications, is that...
Maybe, but probably more related to this next piece. Like, sometimes I am like 1,000 monkeys in a room banging out typewriters, right? They might come up with a couple of good sentences once in a while.
Right.
But the chances of them being able to like pen, Romeo and Juliet, it's not going to happen even in 1,000 years.
Thank God
That's
for Hamlet.
complex communication. Humans are really good at doing that. And
I have one other
meaningful
thing.
Poetry and all of that stuff.
I have one other thing bots can't do, and we should have done this in the pre-show. I apologize. But they can't reproduce themselves.
Oh, Mike. No. They totally can, and they can probably have fun doing it.
Let's keep this show where it's supposed to be.
Right, so they can spawn their own little bots.
Spawn.
That's the whole thing about bot farms, Mike.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but they're not doing it themselves without us there. We programmed them and taught them how to do it.
Boy.
All right. Another show, another time. Another show, another time. I'm trying to reel him in here. Reel him in. I got him fired up
Birds
here.
on the bites.
Let's go back to your 3. So large frame pattern matching.
Yeah. So we're talking about smart cities. Anyway, back to smart cities. We diverged a little bit. But anyway, so taking that data and doing things. So one of the main things is, all of these cities, this is the thing that resonates with everybody who hears this, traffic congestion, right? In cities. So we have, on average, we have 3 parking spaces for every car that comes to a downtown. Yet, it takes 20 minutes on average to find a parking spot.
Now, our downtown is nothing compared to some other cities I've seen.
Ours is cute.
Oh, compared to some other cities, it's absolutely nothing.
Oh, you're totally right.
Yep.
So as you travel, if you guys travel, you'll see it's great. We have a lot of great things in Cleveland. Enough of the big city, but not all that congestion. But still, you're going down to Playhouse Square on a Friday night or Saturday night. You're going down to a Cavs game. There are problems parking, right? It takes 20 minutes to park. So imagine that every day. I was in San Francisco, and some of the people at a meeting I was at, I said, wow, I saw the signs outside. It's $50 a day to park, literally $50, and it wasn't even in downtown. I said, how do you guys afford that? And they said, well, I'm not paying for parking. Somebody's driving my car now. I'm renting it out, and I'm going to make $23 today, and I'm never going to have to pay parking, and they're only going to use it 3 hours. They said, my car sits. I've only used it like 1 or 2 hours a day. It sits 22 hours a day. It's my biggest wasted asset. I'm going to make it earn me money. When you think about that, and you think about companies like BMW who have already, said out in public, we're going to sell less and less cars every year from now on. We're not going to be a car company anymore. We're not an auto manufacturer. We're a mobility company. And they've already started renting out their cars using something called BMW Drive Now. So you go and you can just use your app and find a BMW close by. You sign in with your credit card, you check it in, and you can go open the car, you get in, and you drive. It's enabled for you. You drive wherever you want. When you're done driving it, you leave it somewhere on the street, and the next person can come find it. It's just absolutely amazing. And so they're bringing people into their brand. They're saying that we're going to be about mobility, and they are sponsoring redesigns of urban cities like downtown Cleveland. Imagine. They said, what would this city look like if you got rid of all the parking lots and you added green space? Now, instead of all these cars and traffic, you've got children playing Frisbee. You've got people walking their dogs. You've got a very healthy carbon footprint there. Pretty cool stuff.
Kicking and screaming. That's how I'm going. You're not driving my car. My car's specially designed for me. I'm not going to share my car with you. So, well, I mean, I'll share it with you, buddy. But you know what I'm saying? I hear you, but I'm going to say that's an interesting city when that all takes place. When we all do learn to share in a way that would just change the hearts of man. I'm not ready to go there yet. So.
Yeah. But cities are becoming smarter every day. It's going to save money.
So I'm stupid because I want to get my car.
It's going to save money.
Yes.
It's going to increase the amount of satisfaction people have in the ability to live downtown in a nice, safe atmosphere. It's going to help governments and communities help their citizens, make it more of an attractive place for jobs, more economic growth. It's really something that's happening fast, and Cleveland needs it. And I'm really excited about what's going on in the Cleveland area for the next, 2 to 3 years. You're going to see some cool changes. Think about your own community and where you live and what you can do to use IoT, smart data, and technology to make it a better community for everybody to live in.
Yeah, we're going to have to elaborate on this one a little bit more. I think that's a great concept and great definitely something to talk about because, again, one of my bigger fears is that, again, if your job does not require a whole lot of thinking at this time, there's robots looking over your shoulder. And handsome robots. I love that. Looking over your shoulder. Well, guys, we are so happy to be here with you this evening, and it's time to boogie already. I know. Seems like we just got started, Sanjay.
Yeah, it's a fast show.
I know. So thanks, guys. Join us. Thank you for joining us here on Tech Talk 2020 on 1330 AM, WINT Integrity Radio, and 101.5 FM Integrity Radio. We will talk to you next week, and you guys have a great week.
Thanks, everyone.
Trucks. Pat O'Brien Chevrolet has more trucks than any dealer in Ohio. Over 1,200 on sale, and buying is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with no small print. Save time and money. We got them. Come get them at Pat O'Brien Chevrolet.
What does fun sound like? Let's ask Lost Nation Sports Park.
It's way back and gone.
Nothing but net. Goal!
It's in the hole.
Back to the end zone. Touchdown.
Down the hatch. Ice cold.
The sound of fun brought to you by Lost Nation Sports Park.
Al Salowan started his career as a movie theater usher, learning the business before opening his very first Atlas Cinema. A true entrepreneur, Al worked hard establishing a world-class organization by surrounding himself with good people providing impeccable service. Now the Salowan family continues Al's entrepreneurial spirit to expand his vision of independent Atlas Cinema theaters in Mentor, Euclid, Mayfield, and Elyria. Locally owned, lovingly operated. Purchase tickets for all movies and Atlas Cinemas now at self-serve lobby kiosks or online at atlascinemas.net.
When I was a kid, I loved snow, but as I got older, I started hating it. Not the snow, but the hard work to move it. Then I hired Wards to clear my driveway. I heard they were reliable and honest, and they are. So now I watch them do the work, and I almost like snow again. Almost. You should call George Ward to stop working and stop worrying. Call 440-942-1912. No work, no worries. Wards.
Hi, it's Steve. Join Al and me at 7 a.m. with travel expert Mark Murphy, recapping the biggest awards night of the travel industry. Mayor Kirsten Holtzheimer-Gale updates what's happening in the city of Euclid, plus the News Herald's Mark Mazzoros on Integrity Radio, WINT, 101.5 FM and 1330 AM.
You're listening to Integrity Radio, WINT, AM 1330, 101.5 FM, Willoughby, Cleveland.